Natalie Imbruglia's 1997 single Torn off her debut album Left of the Middle became a massive hit, selling 4 million copies and topping the charts in various countries. But most people don't know that it's actually a cover of the slightly rockier version, released only 2 years earlier by American alternative rock band Ednaswap. It was written by vocalist Anne Previn and guitarist Scott Cutler, alongside Phil Thornalley, who was briefly producer and bass player for The Cure, and also produced Natalie Imbruglia's version. What's even less known, however, is that despite being written by members of Ednaswap, it was first recorded in Danish by Danish singer Lis Sørensen in 1993 with the name Brent. Interestingly, the Danish lyrics are quite different to the English, and despite both songs being about relationships, the Lis Sørensen version appears to focus more on the hot and cold dynamics of her relationship and the anxiety that it causes her, whereas the English version is more about the realization and disappointment that a promising relationship didn't work out. Another example of someone blowing up with a cover of a song that was still very new is Mark Ronson and Amy Winehouse, when they decided to make a retro-inspired version of the song Valerie in 2007, originally written by the English indie rock band The Zootons just a year earlier. Mark Ronson claimed that Amy Winehouse never listened to any music past 1967, so he was surprised when she suggested such a new song. And initially he didn't think that her voice would fit the song, but was soon convinced when he heard her sing it in the studio. The song was huge, especially in the UK, spending 39 weeks in the top charts and still remains one of Amy Winehouse's most popular songs. It's Oh So Quiet is the third single from Bjork's 1995 album Post, and still remains one of her biggest mainstream successes to this day.
And so peaceful until you fall in love, simple, the sky up above, simple is caving in. Wow, wow.
This quirky and dynamic song showcases Bjork's eccentric personality and incredible vocal range perfectly, but she owes this to the 1951 arrangement performed by Betty Hutton.
And so peaceful until you fall in love, zing boom, the sky up above, zing boom, it's caving in, wham bam, you've never.
However, the true origin of this song goes back even further to 1948, where it was sung, albeit in German and without the musical-like arrangement, by Horst Winter.
Gewitter schwül, es ist unheimlich still. Jetzt kommt ein Krach, und was kommt danach? Dann kommt Schall und Fall.
One of the producers of Bjork's version of It's Oh So Quiet and the album Post in general was Nelly Hooper, who aside from his production gigs was a founding member of Bristol-based The Wild Bunch, who went on to become Massive Attack. Another one of his productions, however, was Irish singer Sinead O'Connor's most famous hit, Nothing Compares to You.
Cause nothing compares to you.
The original can be traced back to The Family, a short-lived band in the 80s who served mainly as an outlet for Prince to write and release songs that wouldn't fit under his own catalogue. After releasing their debut album and only performing a single concert, the band disbanded, but at least they gave us a song that O'Connor would turn into one of the most recognizable of the 1990s. Another super recognizable song from the 90s is this reggae-influenced version of Baby I Love Your Way by Big Mountain. Chances are you've probably heard this chorus even if you didn't know the name Big Mountain. The original song, however, is by British guitarist Peter Frampton from 1975 and definitely sounds a lot more 70s.
Ooh, baby, I love your way. Wanna tell you I love your way.
But 80s kids also didn't miss out on the fun, as in 1988, Will to Power decided to release a medley of Baby I Love Your Way and Lynyrd Skynyrd's hit Freebird, which picks and chooses verses and lines from both to create this extremely 80s tune. Those of you growing up in the 2000s might remember Britney's song I Love Rock and Roll, and you might know that it was inspired by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts' huge hit of the same name in 1981. Despite being her most successful song ever, I Love Rock and Roll is actually a cover from 6 years earlier, performed by The Arrows. The Arrows singer Alan Merrill said that he wrote it as a knee-jerk reaction to the song It's Only Rock and Roll But I Like It by the Rolling Stones, which appears to argue that people shouldn't take his band and their music that seriously. In 1981, Toni Basil released this cheerleading-inspired banger. The famous chant section is seemingly fit for any scenario, and it's still pretty common to hear the song today. And while that section was a new addition in Toni Basil's version, it's still surprising that this is a cover of the song Kitty by Racy. Now, speaking of covers, you should definitely check out our Connect the Songs game, where we try to find the connections between a series of songs and their artists. They could be covers, they could be samples, or maybe the connections involve some juicy drama. Either way, go check it out now, it's right there on the screen, and I'll see you next time on Mixed Signals. Bye bye!